When you leave, you're going to get 2 new documents.
It came near the end of Thursday's work session at the Alabama Department of Education, a meeting scheduled to be streamed on YouTube that seemed routine until State School Superintendent Dr. Eric Mackey handed out yellow envelopes containing some preliminary numbers for school enrollment across the state. And what he said then was anything but routine.
But here's the long and short of it. Our reduction in the number of public school students will be the largest reduction we've had in the last 4 decades. About 5,000 students lost when it's all said and done.
5,000 students not enrolled this year compared to last. Mackey was quick to note that these are preliminary numbers, that there are about 800 of those missing students that are being flagged as possible clerical errors. Still, others may have taken advantage of the state's new Choose Act and transferred to private schools or even homeschooling. But even taking that into account, Mackey says that still leaves more than 2,000 students lost this year with no record of where they went. And, says Mackey, superintendents across the state are telling him that most of those missing students are Hispanic.
So we don't know if they're still living in the state, not going to school, if they have moved to another state but did not enroll in a school in that state, if they left the country. We don't know if they are documented students or undocumented, because as you know, that's something we are not allowed to ask, and we don't ask under federal law. But we know that we have about 2,100 kids that were enrolled last year that have just disappeared. They are not on the radar anywhere. They did not show up for school, public or private, and they did not transfer to a school in another state. They're just gone.
The reduction of Hispanic students in Alabama schools comes at a time when numbers have been increasing. During the 2019-2020 school year, Hispanic students made up a little more than 9% of enrollment in the state. For 2024-25, that jumped up to more than 12%. But the recent superintendent's reports of falling Hispanic enrollment in Alabama schools comes at a time when the federal government has been increasing its immigration enforcement efforts across the state. Mackey doesn't draw any connections nor conclusions about if those efforts may be affecting enrollment. But he says if these numbers hold true, when official reports are due from school systems next Friday, it could mean schools could lose some teaching positions, totaling hundreds across the state.
Teacher jobs are tied to student enrollment. So this is between 500 to 700 teacher jobs that will disappear next year as we work on the next budget cycle. So it's a big impact.